We were trying to figure out how to pronounce this.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. I want to say I'm a grandmother first. I care for all the children. I'm also a member of Rising Tide, and I'm going to read because I don't want to exceed my minutes. But County Administrator Chuck Huckleberry signed a confidential agreement with Price Waterhouse Cooper, the front for Monsanto. Then Mr. Huckleberry stated the agreement with this private company did not allow for information to be given to the public. Doesn't sound like democratic government. This is also an example of economic growth based on money and a few jobs. This is not acceptable. As climate, whether you believe it or not, is happening, changes that affect the earth, we ask you to support a sustainable economic development, which is what we're needing. Pima County has also approved a tax incentive package for Monsanto Corporation. This is a serious concern, considering Monsanto products have been banned all over Europe. The Convention on Biological Microbiology Studies has found that Monsanto laboratory-produced seeds are sterile. What does that mean? When the seeds are put down in the soil, they do not produce seeds like normal plants. What that translates to is the farmers have to continue buying GMO seeds from Monsanto. This damages the farmers' ability to grow healthy food. The GMO seeds used excessively in the earth creates an imbalance in the soil, and it causes problems. It also increases the use of more pesticides, increasing toxic chemicals. This results with all Monsanto products. The health community of the world and scientists and doctors have done research to show it debilitates the immune system, which is what guards us and protects us against disease. Therefore, it increases potential cause of different cancers in people exposed to these bad GMO systems, allergic reactions, liver problems, in children, elders, and people. The other concern is contamination.
Ma'am, your time. Okay, hurry.
I have just two things. Contamination, if it was planted here, it travels 30 miles and it can get into playgrounds, it can get into lawns, so anytime you touch it, you have a potential to be injected with Monsanto. And this is the way it looks for everyone to see. So government officials signing in secret is corruption. Have a good day, and thank you for listening.
Melissa Diane Smith.
Thank you. I am here today as a citizen who is outraged about the secret negotiations with Monsanto without public input, and also as a health and nutrition journalist and the author of Going Against GMOs. I wrote a guest opinion piece for The Star, which wasn't published, but it touched on why Pima County should not do business with Monsanto at all. Monsanto has become the poster child for malignant corporate influence in government and technology. The company is known for lying about its products and business and for polluting the environment. GMO corn could easily spread and contaminate pesticide-free cornfields in the area. And Monsanto has a history of suing farmers for patent infringement and putting them out of business. Last year, the International Agency for the Research on Cancer declared the active ingredient in Monsanto's Roundup that sprayed on everything, gets into the air and the water and of course on and in the food, a probable human carcinogen. And that herbicide is not only linked to cancer, it's linked to increases in birth defects and chronic respiratory problems. If Monsanto is allowed to build its facility in Avra Valley, people will stop buying food grown in the area just to protect themselves. Pima County should learn from what has happened in other communities where Monsanto comes in. In Hawaii, Monsanto and other biotech companies brought so much health and environmental damage to the first few Hawaiian islands it came to, that in 2013, the mayor of the big island of Hawaii signed a law that banned future plantings of GMOs and prohibited biotech companies from operating on the island. Why did Hawaii take action to ban biotech companies from operating there? Because they realized it was not worth the terrible price to work with Monsanto. I implore you to educate yourselves about Monsanto's record for the good of our community. To help start that process, I have a copy of my short opinion piece and a copy of my Going Against GMOs book to give each of you. And I'd like to extend an open invitation for me to answer your questions, to give presentations, to show the World According to Monsanto documentary, and to be involved in public discussions on this deadly serious issue that has so many ramifications for the future of Pima County. Thank you.
Thank you. JP.
Hi, and that's pronounced Tracy. So I've come to speak today, and hello to all of you. I have been since 2007. I've worked in the suicide prevention field, coming on 10 years now, and an important thing that I feel that we should all consider is the fact that the leading cause of non-accidental death for farmers in this country is suicide. And as individuals are no doubt expressing in The Hague in Netherlands this past week, farmer suicides around the world are at an incredible epidemic. Some folks have said that as many as 300,000 farmers have committed suicide in India, for instance. I'd like to encourage all of you to go online and check out the testimonies that happened over the course of the past week in The Hague at the Monsanto Tribunal, where farmers from 6 continents all convened to discuss the very common themes that they've experienced in their interactions with the Monsanto Corporation. You can see that there's some emotion here because I have spoken to thousands of people about suicide over the course of my career. And when we think about giving out tax abatements, when we think about reducing the tax burden on a company, that's a gift that we're giving. That's something that we're doing because we're saying you are going to be good for our community, and therefore we're going to reward you with lower taxes. And I want you to all very carefully consider who you're thinking about rewarding when you think about giving them that. Mr. Huckleberry, I'd like you to think very carefully about your own involvement with that company as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.